Alright, so before we get into this, I just want to give a quick spoiler warning to anyone who has not seen this show yet, so consider yourselves warned. Keep in mind that this review is only of the first two episodes, as those are the only ones to be out as of today. Alright, so let's get right into this review. So I thought the intro theme to this new show was actually really generic, to be quite honest. It's kind of just a little bit lame, you know. Other Star Trek shows have done much better intros, in my opinion. And then you got this entertainment news source saying that the opening credits are unlike anything you've seen. Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. They're quite generic to me. I mean, I've seen intros like this before. It's nothing new. I don't get what this is about. But whatever, the intro is a minor thing. So with that aside, let's get right into the characters. So I'm sorry to say, but at least to me, the characters that I've seen in the show so far are all pretty lame. The first officer, Michaels, she is played by Sasha, the same actor who played Sasha in The Walking Dead. She's okay. I kind of like her backstory. She was raised by Vulcans. That's interesting to me. I want to see what they're going to do with her. However, the captain is a very, very different story. The captain in this show is just horrible. The captain of the Shinzo, I think the ship's called. She is possibly the worst Star Trek actor I've ever seen in my life. It's actually terrible. I mean, she looks like she doesn't even want to be on the show. She looks like she's angry all the time, and it seems like she's just reading the script. So I mean, yeah, and spoiler warning, she dies at the end, so I mean, at least she's not going to be in the show for that much longer. Or I guess she's not in the show at all anymore. She's dead, but yeah, she was really, really bad. One of the worst characters, I think, in the entire Star Trek series. Yeah, so she's not that good. Anyways, they put Spock's dad, Sarek, in the show, and I'm unsure how I feel about this. I feel like it's just a grab to get fans of the original series, because Spock's dad was from the original series. The actor who plays him, however, I think he was one of the better parts of the show, so I hope that I can see more about Sarek in the future of the show. But by far, my favorite character in the first two episodes was the Klingon leader. His name was Takuma or Takarma, I don't know. It's something Klingon. But anyways, he was actually pretty cool. Yeah, but also he dies at the end of the second episode, so I mean, we're never gonna see him again. Unfortunately, he was my favorite character, and they already got rid of him. I mean, that kind of sucks. And that brings me to the Klingons. Now, I wasn't thinking this when I was going into the show. I had no idea this was gonna be how I was gonna feel. But out of all the characters, I think the Klingons were surprisingly my favorites. The Klingons interested me a lot more than the actual cast of the show, and I don't know if that's such a good thing. Now, while I did like the Klingons better than the humans, I still really wish that they'd used the original Klingons. I see no reason why they should just remake them when the original design was great. It was better than this. They look horrible. Now let's get into the special effects. As I said in my trailer impressions, I thought the effects were good in the trailers, and in the show they're even more so good. They're really good, especially for a TV show, you know. Everything looks beautiful. In my opinion, this is perhaps the best looking Star Trek show as far as effects go. But as I've said before, effects do not make a show great. The tone of this show is very different from previous Star Trek shows. It seems to be taking itself very, very seriously, with a lot of death and a lot of war, and I don't know if I prefer that over the original series shows. Most Star Trek shows tend to be a lot more lighthearted than this one. This one's by far the most serious out of all of them, and I don't know if that's gonna work in their favor. They're changing up the formula. Also, this show tends to be a lot more linear than previous Star Trek shows. A lot of Star Trek shows in the past have been episodes that do not have continuity, but I think this show's going for a more, how should I put this? Of the television formula of today, where the story continues from episode to episode. I don't know if a lot of fans are going to like this, honestly. I mean, all the Trek shows have their two-parters, but usually they go every episode, it could be anything. But now it's like it's got to follow a complete story, and I don't think that's what Star Trek fans are about. Alright, so now that I've given my thoughts, here's pretty much what I think. I like the special effects, and I like the Klingons. But so far, that's about it. I think they need to do some real big changes with the show if they want it to be successful. As of right now, having seen the first 2 episodes, I'd give it a 6 out of 10, pretty much based on the special effects and the Klingon parts that I enjoyed. To sum up the things that I did not enjoy, there are 3 things I didn't enjoy. I didn't enjoy the main captain. I thought she was terrible, one of the worst things in any Star Trek show. I didn't like the characters that much, and my god, more lens flares. If you're sick of lens flares in the Star Trek movies, watch the first episode of this show. There's like 60 lens flares. They're everywhere. There's like more than in any of the Star Trek movies. So yeah, as of yet, I'm not a big fan of the show, but I am willing to watch more. And as of yesterday, I found out that the show is actually airing on TV in Canada. And I live in Canada, so I'm going to be watching it with my basic satellite cable, whatever the heck I have, I'm not sure. I'm going to be watching it. It's on the Space Channel every Sunday. However, unfortunately for fans in the US, it is going to be only on CBS All Access, and I think that's crazy. That's insane. I do not get why it's going to be on Space Channel in Canada and CBS All Access. Like, that makes no sense to me. So I feel sorry for all Trek fans in the US. I'm just glad that it's free in Canada. And so to just finish up this video, I just kind of like to sum up what I think of this show. And I would compare it to the show Star Trek Enterprise if it was set in the J.J. Abrams universe. So take that as you will, and until next time.